Hola chicos. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to finish out the unit with you and not leave you hanging. So I am going to kind of walk you through the rest of these notes. I'd like you to copy these into your yellow packets for me, please. And there's also a worksheet that goes with this that you're going to do at the end, and I'm going to walk you through a few examples of that too. So I want you to do those examples with me once you're done with these notes, and then you'll finish up the worksheet and you can check your answers with the answer key posted on Canvas. Okay, please don't look ahead at the answer key because it won't help you if you don't do the practice first on your own. You will be responsible for doing a few of these on the unit exam for this unit, so you want to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, so direct object pronouns replace nouns that have already been mentioned to avoid repetition. So direct object pronouns are sort of used in a way that allows us to kind of be lazy when we're talking. And I'll show you what I mean in a second by being lazy. A noun, remember, is a person, a place, or a thing. So, for example, in English, I might say the sentence, I have the book, or I read the book, or I love the book. Now, in a conversation, if I said, I have the book, have you read the book? I might not keep saying the book, the book, the book, the book over and over again. Because in English, many times we abbreviate the book to I have it. Right? So this book, the book in the sentence, is considered the direct object. The word it is considered a direct object pronoun. Okay, so direct object pronouns replace nouns, like the book in this sentence, again, to avoid repetition. Okay, so what are my direct object pronouns? Me, te, and nos are your top three. Okay, those are going to look very familiar to you. They look like the ones that we use with gustar. Okay, but they're used a little bit differently. The bottom is where you're going to see something new. So on the el, ella, usted spot, you're going to see a lo or a la. And in the ellos, ellas, ustedes spot, you're going to see a los or a las. Okay, now what do those mean? We're going to fill in what those are going to be used to say in English. So me is going to mean me, excuse me. Me is going to mean me. Okay, te is going to mean you informal. Okay, lo can mean him, can mean you formal, or it can mean it. It can mean all of those things. Okay, la can be her, you formal if it's a female, or it. So several different meanings for lo and la. Trying to make this smaller. Okay, maybe not. Okay, nos is going to mean us. And then los and las are going to have multiple meanings as well. So los can mean them or you all. Las can mean them or you all. But remember the difference here. This is a masculine version, and this is a feminine version. So this is going to seem a little confusing right now, but once I show you some examples, you'll understand what I'm talking about with the lo, la, los, or las. Okay, so when I want to use these, where are they going to go in the sentence? So you do have some options. They can either go before a conjugated verb, and this is what we're going to be practicing mostly in class and on your test. So putting them before a conjugated verb is really what I want you to be able to do. But just so you know, grammatically, they can also be attached to an infinitive. So if you had an infinitive verb in the sentence, you can also attach these to the end of an infinitive. Or you can attach them to what's called a present participle. I don't want you to worry too much about that part. I may do an example or two with that, but I'm not going to ask you guys to be able to do that. Okay, so let's look at a couple of examples. Okay, your first example, ¿Tienes el libro de matemáticas? Do you have the math book? And we want to answer just by saying, yes, I have it. Not, yes, I have the math book, but yes, I have it. So, because this word in Spanish is el libro, it's masculine, and it's singular, I need a masculine singular way to say it. So that's where the lo came from. Okay, if I look up at my list here, I wanted a way to say it that was masculine and singular to match el libro. And it has to go before the conjugated verb in the sentence, which is tango. So by saying sí lo tengo, you're saying yes, I have it. The next two examples are showing you how to attach. So we're going to skip these. You do have them in your notes, but let's skip that for now. Okay, so again, we're mostly going to practice number one, which is placing the direct object pronouns before a conjugated verb. So if I have yo tengo el libro, ella da el regalo, tienes el lápiz, nosotros pedimos la pizza, and ellos dicen las noticias. Okay, so I want to rewrite these 5 sentences with direct object pronouns instead of using the direct objects. So for example, I have the book. I want to change that to say I have it. She gives the gift. She gives it. Do you have the pencil? Do you have it? We order the pizza. We order it. Or they tell the news. They tell it. Okay, so yo tengo el libro. This is what I'm replacing. So I'm going to use lo to replace el libro since it's singular and masculine. And when I rewrite the sentence, it's going to go before tango because that's my conjugated verb in the sentence. So when I rewrite that, I'm going to write yo, lo, tango. Okay, ella da el regalo. She gives the gift. So I want to replace the gift to say she gives it. So again, I'm going to use lo because el regalo is singular and masculine. And when I rewrite it, it's going to go before da because da is the conjugated verb. So ella lo da. Number 3, do you have the pencil? El lápiz. Okay, for the third time, I'm using lo because el lápiz is a singular masculine noun. And when I rewrite the sentence, it's going to go before the conjugated verb, which is tienes. So notice I don't have a subject this time. I'm just going to write lo tienes. Do you have it? Okay, número 4, nosotros pedimos la pizza. We order the pizza. We want to change that to say we order it. Okay, now a little bit different. I have la pizza. So instead of lo, I'm going to use la to replace la pizza, and it has to go before the conjugated verb, which is pedimos. So nosotros la pedimos. Whoops. We order it. Okay, número 5, they tell the news. So in English, we would translate that to say, or I'm sorry, we would abbreviate that to say they tell it. But in this case, I need something to match my Spanish noun. So if I look at my list, my options are lo, la, los, or las. So I'm going to use las to match las noticias. Okay, it can't be lo or la because it's plural. And again, it's going before the conjugated verb. So ellos las dicen. Okay, so you're probably noticing most of the time from this list of direct object pronouns, you're using these bottom 4. Okay, you don't use me, te, or nos all that much. You're going to mostly be using these 4. Okay, let me just show you an example of when there's an infinitive verb. Okay, so number 6, you have I am going to drink the coffee. So we would want to change that to say I am going to drink it. So el café is the coffee. So based on the examples we just did of all these el nouns, I'm going to use lo because it's masculine and singular. Okay, there's 2 places I can put that. I can put it before the conjugated verb like I've been doing. So yo, lo, voy a beber. I can also attach it to the end of that infinitive verb. So in that case, it would look like this. Yo voy a beberlo. It becomes all one word when you do it that way. Okay, if we take a look at this one, number 8, they have to help their mom. So I'm going to replace this whole thing, a su madre. And now we want it to say they have to help her. So I would use la since it's singular and feminine. And my options would be ellos la tienen que ayudar, that's before the conjugated verb, or ellos tienen que ayudarla. You actually have an example like that right in your vocab list. Okay. So those are the notes on direct object pronouns. Let me just give you one example of when you might use the me, the te, or the nos. So if you said something like, he calls my brother and I. He calls my brother and I.